Hello, everyone. Welcome to IA Simplified. IA Simplified is a podcast series where we showcase industry leaders to discuss the impact of intelligent automation on SME, mid-market, financial services, healthcare, and other related fields. I'm your host, Tolani Jaitikolo, and today on today's episode, I'm joined by Simona Marincei. But before I let Simona do a bit of introduction about herself, I'm going to tell you a bit about Simona from what I know. Simona is the head of intelligent processes for SME. That stands for Small Medium Enterprise at SAP. Simona is a very interesting person, and we're going to be talking about something quite interesting. It's not an unusual topic. We're going to be talking about to automate or not to automate accounts payable in small and medium enterprises. If you haven't noticed, Simona was in the SAP SMB Innovation Summit in Dublin. I wasn't opportune, obviously, to attend, but I really liked, a drive for SME, and I'm definitely going to allow her to say a lot of things. Simona, welcome to IA Simplified, and thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me here, Tolani. It's really a pleasure, and all the time, I'm resourceful of information when it's about SME, and my passion in this area because. When I took over this role about 2.5 years ago, everybody was telling me that intelligent enterprise, the keyword that we have in SAP for intelligent technologies in general is only for the big sharks in the tank. And, actually my role was to debunk that myth, to show that, all these intelligent technology, the cutting edge technologies that are the AI slash ML, the automation embedded with the AI services, chatbots, or the predictive analytic library and so on. All of these, they are also fully applicable to the small and medium businesses. And why not actually when in our days, we have Alexa in the house, we have intelligent switching off the lights. So if we are using all these intelligent technologies in our daily life, why not in our small and medium businesses also? That is from what intelligent processing stands for in my title. And overall, I'm part of the product management team. So we are driving my organization, my team are driving the roadmap for all these SME products from SAP. And before of that, I was the program manager office. I was running program management office for SAP Leonardo Machine Learning. So I have quite a deep background in this area also.
Interesting. I love that intro. There's quite a lot of knowledge packed in that intro, and I'm very excited to have you here. But before we crack on with today's episode, I wanted to ask you about the SMB Innovation Summit in Dublin. Now, what were your key highlights?
Well, actually, for me, this one was extraordinary event because it was my first SMB event after Corona. I told you that I took over this position about 2.5 years ago, which is exactly when Corona kicked in. And because of all the pandemic situation, we didn't really had such an event in the last 2 years. And it was for me the first time when I really met face to face with our SMB partner. And what it really impressed me so much is the hunger of information and novelty and intelligent technology that our partner was coming from the market, from their customers, which means is the right time for all this technology to be adopted. And actually, I can also share with you, I have a couple of blogs and video that I will put also for your audience after that about the adoption. So, for example, intelligent robotic process automation in general, end-to-end automation for one of the product for by design. I was launching it last year in September, and already in Q1 when we did the first statistic, we were having 200 productive customers that they were starting to adopt this without any additional help. That is the kind of traction from the market, and that is how much automation and intelligent technology are really needed, and their leverage. The benefit is there. I don't need anymore to explain to the people. Like some couple of years ago, I was needed to convince the people. Now the people are coming and asking me if I have this technology available for them. So that was the key takeaway from the Innovation Summit, the passion and the need that is currently on the market for the small and medium enterprises of these technologies.
Interesting. And I'm glad you mentioned a few things. So every time I looked at your social media, you mentioned something called intelligent enterprise. It's still really like a jargon in my ear because there's a lot that's packed with intelligent enterprise. What does that really mean in the SAP context? What does it also mean for the SMEs?
Well, in the SAP context, it's a bit broader, and this means also full integration together with the AI technology. It's more like a architectural mind shift. But putting it in the context of SME, I really simplified this to three main streams. And I like all the time to make the analogy with the Pinocchio story. The Pinocchio was a very perfect wooden puppet that was fulfilling its role. Yeah, it was so nice that the creator was really loving it and wanted something more. Wanted to become something more than the design initial scope. Same is what we are doing with the ERP. Yeah, we have the best ERP. I don't say only me because it's from SAP, but I think our customer really love it, right? So we have the best ERP, but we want to be something more there, right? So what happened with Pinocchio? First is starting to move the hands and arms, and that is what I make the analogy with automation, with the intelligent automation, right? Then it's starting to think, to come with decision making, and that is the part of AI and machine learning and predictive analytics. And not the last is starting to speak, to communicate with you. And that is the part of the chatbot, the intelligent conversational part in the voice assistant. So these are the three main directions that I will summarize to, the context of intelligent enterprise for SME. Number one, intelligent automation. That is the first work stream, which is already on the market. Number two is machine learning cockpit or ML for everybody, a framework that is giving easy access to the end user, to the analytical data user, to intelligent decision making process or decision management by exception, how we name it. And the last part is the new generation user experience, right? Because we are speaking about Alexa, right? Our kids are currently speaking more with Alexa than they speak with us, with the parents. So as such, they will be the next workforce on the market, and obvious when they will come in the work job that they will have, they will expect other type of user experience than clicking and pressing like we are used with. So we need to design the next generation software, and as such, that is what is combining intelligent enterprise for SME.
Brilliant. I have Alexa, and sometimes I have to turn it off because it's almost listening to my conversation. So, but it's a different, it's an interesting highlight, or it's an interesting space you're in. But Simona, I want to go. Let's delve deeper into the topic today about AP automation. AP, for others that are watching us, AP means accounts payable. So we're talking about accounts payable. Should SMEs be automating accounts payable within their enterprise?
Absolutely, absolutely. And that is a space where, we don't either put the question if it's relevant or not for SME. I mean, either way, as an end user, we have tons of bills, right? Sometimes I will not like to receive them, but every single day I get one new in my post, right? So of course, I don't need to do the matching after that and the clearing, but whatever small or medium businesses, they will have their fair share of the invoices and of payments that they need to do, and that is one of the main workload. And I will give you an example. Imagine you have a bakery, right? So the simples, and your business is successful, right? And you are growing up the business, and you have already opened the 20th store, and you have already 500 employees. Well, the biggest part of them actually, they are production worker, right? You will have a small administrative team which will generally buckle under all these heavy workload that is coming from the paperwork. And yes, I know in some of the countries the e-invoices are kicking in, but they are not yet there. And it's not only about the e-invoices. We speak in general about whatever document that it's reaching you in any other way than directly in your ERP. And that is happening. So we still get PDF or email-based invoices. We still get paper-based invoices, right? We are getting, part of them e-invoices and part of them in traditional way. And really, the effort of putting these invoices, and I have a couple of customers, I will put after that the link, so they are official SAP reference customers. So Safe Energy, it's a medium company from US, and we have Aspen Palms from UK. They are really using this service that we are offering for the invoice scanning. It's a mix of robots with the AI services and with the automations. So altogether, they are saving so much time. You are asking me at some point in time about what is the time invest. Now, depend also how itemized it's your invoice. If you have a small invoice, maybe it's like 5 minutes time or 3 minutes if you have one line item. But imagine, in our example with the bakery, and you are having such a long invoice with about, 50 different line items, and you really need to put them in your system. That will take you really 15, 20 minutes to process one single invoice. So I have all the extremes from one to other, and then multiply this with something in average based on our statistics from the business by design. A customer has around 1,000 invoices per month. So now make the calculation and see what is the full time invested in manual processing of the invoices. Is actually one of the best case for automation.
I want to piggyback on some of the things you've said. You talk about invoice scanning, you talked about different invoices. What are the other responsibilities of accounts payable within an enterprise?
Actually, they are dealing with the end-to-end payment. So you have a provider, you have suppliers, right? So the account payable department is taking care of the relation with your supplier and making sure that your due invoice are paid and regulated in time, so you do not run in problems, with your stocks and with your other utilities that you are having. Just to be clear, in SME, at least from my experience, there is not existing like a department, and depend also how big is the company, right? But speaking the small and small medium, they are not really dedicated only like a full department only for account payable, right? They are an administrative department that they are doing also procurement part, for example. Yeah, so they are also taking care of procuring those goods, and after that paying those invoice. And sometimes, either depend of how small is the company, they enter sometime either in the sales territory. Of course, as the company is growing up, because we are going on small enterprises, we have the B1 software, and they are like up to 50 users, let's say, in the system. And then is coming the sub business by design. There are like 200 administrative users at the department that you have 200 administrative users already. You have time for separation. And then is like already the small to large part that is S4 HANA cloud, where you go up to 500.
Brilliant. What are the key pain points when it comes to AP automation for SMEs?
Well, I think the volume of the invoices that is going over, the different types that you have, because they are different. The ones that are coming from your utilities like gas, electricity, and so on, and the one that are coming from the providers. And the process is split it on. I mean, it's easy to say, well, invoices in general, but let's try to split it on steps. The first thing, you are getting the invoice. How do you get it? Yeah, again, it can come via the email. It can come inside the email, or it can be as an attachment for the email, right? Then you can get it per post. You still get it in the post office, or you can get it as a e-invoice. Yeah. Then you need to prepare to classify all of this, to understand which are for what, right? After that, you need to upload them to make them available in your ERP. And when I say upload them, it's not as easy as, you press upload of that file. You need actually to open that invoice and one by one to copy over every single information there, date, amount, supplier, every single line item, and so on. Yeah. And after that, you also need, so you create the invoice and you need to approve it for the payments. So, and then obvious also to make the payments, payment for it. Well, all these steps, each of them, you may say it's not a big deal, but if you are adding off between 1 and 5 minutes for each of step, and again, if we have big invoices, as I say, it can take 15, 20 minutes, and then you multiply this with 1,000 invoices per month, and you multiply with 12 months, and transform this time in how many FTEs, so full-time employees, do you really need? And then multiply this with the fully loaded cost. That is another very important aspect, Tolani, because a lot of people are calculating with the salary of the person, but it's not the salary, it's the fully loaded cost, because that employee is costing you also the rent where you have your office, is costing you all the other benefits that you are giving, the electricity that you pay. So the fully loaded costs are in general 1.5 from the salary of that person. I can tell you, and I have a use case. I will give you a customer testimonial from Safe Energy. They are saving between 45 and 150,000 euro per year from these kind of activities, repetitive activities that can be done by the robots. And for example, in my business, in the by design, actually we either include this one for free inside the ERP. I mean, I really believe the future is not, this should not be separate services, should be part of the standard software, and that is what we are targeting in there.
Right. That's interesting. We've talked about ERP. For other people watching, is the enterprise resource planning software. And I know SAP has one, and there are other vendors on the market as well. So when we talk about just having an ERP, are we saying that just having the ERP is not enough? That we need to use intelligent automation to get the best out of these ERP systems?
Absolutely, absolutely. And that is also part of this strategy that I was mentioning, the intelligent enterprise, right? No matter if you are using the ERP from SAP or any other ERP, right? The ERP is a place where you put data in, and the ERP is helping you to organize and process those data to drive your business, right? But data in, it's still a process which you need to do it manually, at least up to now. Again, there are still coming more and more integration, as I say, with the invoices, with the banking processing. So, all the bank statements, they are directly, for example, taken over in your software, but it's still not there. And the trend currently is that using these intelligent technologies, you have all this integration and all this effort, like putting in the invoices, approving the invoices, doing all these regular steps there, that you have assistance like a real intelligent assistant that is reminding you or either giving you indication or either approving for you in particular boundary condition that you decide, because you are the brain behind, not the robot. And this one is the big saving factor that you are having right now. We are going more and more in automation, and I know that is not the question, but a lot of people are saying, then what are the real people doing? Is like these robots will steal the job of the people. Well, that is not really true. You see that it's a bit, I come all the time with a contra example. When the industrialization area zone came, everybody was like, yeah, it's destroying the job of the people. Actually, it was creating more workplaces, at that time, and we're going to a next level, right? A long time ago, people, they could not afford so many clothes like we afford right now. They didn't have like full wardrobe. At that point in time, the people could not see beyond these innovation processes they were coming. There is so much work and intelligent work that can be unleashed for the human being. And I never met any single customer that will say, I'm so sorry that you'll take the boring job of typing in the invoices, and I'm so upset that this bot came here. I only have very, very happy customers that were saying, oh my God, thanks. That was the worst nightmare of my life, to really spend all my important time on putting invoices in the systems.
I love that analogy. I'm gonna move to a different point. This is based on what you've said in the past. You've talked about intelligent document processing. I know that the other word you use for it is intelligent business document processing. But where does this really come into place when we look at things like supplier invoice, purchase orders, and some of these different types of invoice? Where does intelligent document processing stand?
Well, actually, it's what also with the example I give you before. So, intelligent business document processing is the full dream of automizing the input in the ERP, but not only in ERP, in whatever software, either in CRM, either in HR, whatever software that you are having, the process of putting the data in should be fully automated. And that is the dream of this strategy. And it can be achieved through a mix of these technologies. So, for example, what we have already, and I will provide you links after that. If you are going in the Intelligent Robotic Process Automation Store, the SAP automation store, and you search for the sub-business one and sub-business by design, which is my area, but also for all the other software. So if you search for our the ERP or the HR software and so on, you'll find a set of bots which we are offering for free. The content is for free. And those bots are really targeted, at least in my area, they are really targeting on picking up the different business documents. And now you mentioned a couple of them, right? So you mentioned purchase orders. Yeah. So you get purchase order from your customer per email, and you want to transfer them in sales orders. You are getting proof of delivery. So you deliver something to your customer, and your customer is signing, yes, I received those goods. And obvious, you will get back that document, and you will need to upload to identify to which invoice and which delivery note is this belonging, and you need to upload it back. So you will have a proof that you really deliver those goods. Then you have payment advices, yeah, for the matching. So a customer paid the invoice, and he's saying you a payment advice saying that I pay these and these invoices with this and this amount of money. All of these, they are unstructured documents, right? So using a mix of OCR And it's not only OCR, for the people to understand, OCR is only the part of extracting letter from a paper, but they have no meaning. And after that, you have machine learning, so some AI engine that is really recognizing the meaning behind those one, right? So then you have this mix of OCR with ML plus robots, which are picking up the documents from the different platform. It could be email, it could be a folder or some platform that you are having, classify them, right? Because you get tons of email. So you need to know this is a purchase order, this is an invoice, this is a payment advice, and so on. You classify them, and after that is coming the next level bot that is going and uploading or creating a document, a draft document in your system, no matter if it's ERP, CRM, and so on. And all this process is giving you freedom that you'll have all this business document processing hands-free. And you remember that I was telling in the other answer just a bit earlier about the number of minutes that you are saving only from invoice scanning. Imagine the multiply that one for every single business document. And now do not stay only with the traditional one. I had a case with a customer that they are a factory and they still have those stamps, the cards with the stamp for the worker that they're saying when they come and when they end. Yeah, and after that they need to scan those one. And I know that some now they have the chip, but not all of them. I mean, we speak about small and medium enterprise. Not really all of them have money to upgrade all their system that they are running on the latest technology, right? And after that, we are providing them a scanning system and a robot that was able to really take these cards, these custom design cards, and read the end time and the entry time and put in their HR system the time that each of the employee was working, right? So every single input that is coming from a paper-based like or a PDF or a picture, all these scanners with the mobiles. So you are taking a picture of your receipt and you are putting in your travel expense. You are taking a picture from a business card and you are creating a contact in your system. That every single second that you are saving from your time, adding up, is coming to thousands and thousands of euro at the end of the year that you are saving with each of the employees. And this is what intelligent business document processing is about.
Brilliant. Thank you. So we're running out of time, but we have time for just one more question. What advice do you have for SMEs looking to automate, their accounts payable in the next 12 months?
Well, they first of all need to look into their process and create a business case. Currently I also have an open SAP course which is free with also certification at this point in time, which the first chapter of this is how you really identify the best automation use case in your company. And this is valid for account payable and this is valid for any other business use case. And it's coming on really understanding where are the performance savings, which translate in time savings at the end, which translate in money savings. Of course, also you never calculate that the automation is coming for free, because either when you have it, like in the case of our system by design, where we are including the automation in the license and you say, okay, I have it, you still need to have somebody to monitor it, you still need to have somebody to operate it. So that is also costing money. So, and having first the right expectation about what is the investment and what is the added value that you are getting there, it will help you to understand which are the processes where you can really save money. At the end, we speak about economics here, and we are speaking about having a real added value benefit. But for me, the automation of account payable, if you are still in an area where you do not have full automated input and you still receive this kind of invoices that are PDF and so on, it's a no-brainer. There is so much benefit that either when you are buying this service extra, it's still a huge added value for your business. In total, if you are extending this to all the other processes and you make a hands-free business document processing, is the best automation scenario that every single SME should invest into it.
So we're coming to the end of the podcast. How can people reach out to you, Simona?
On LinkedIn, So you can search for my name. I'm very active there. You will see everything that I'm posting, and I'm really answering whoever has any curiosity or question in the area of the intelligent technologies. And of course, also via my official email, simona.marincei@sap.com.
Thank you. So for everyone watching, we're going to have the video transcription online. It's going to be available on my website, rpajargonbuster.com. We're also going to link a lot of the content, nice, interesting content Simona has mentioned as part of our show notes on wherever this is showcasing from. It's going to be available on YouTube. It's going to be available on LinkedIn and other platforms, other social media platforms. If you need someone to talk to about intelligent automation for SMEs, for mid-market, in terms of your deployment, feel free to send us an email at info@rpajargonbuster.com. Until next time, stay informed.